everyone, welcome and thank you for returning. My videos this week may not be as salacious as that of others because I absolutely refuse to give the snorkels what they want, namely attention. But I am slowly cooking inside, ready to explode. So hang on, ladies and gentlemen, it is coming. I took meticulous notes this week. William gave his cop speech already, so he'll likely be on his way home today or tomorrow. In the meantime, there are a number of strange and often concerning things happening in the world around us. I'm still following that interstellar object 3I Atlas, and I'm really, honestly and truly fed up with the American government. Firstly, so far, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is being given the absolute runaround when it comes to getting access to documentation in terms of the investigation into UAP, or the unidentified anomalous phenomena, which I think is a term with way too broad a scope. I prefer UFO, unidentified flying object, because that is exactly what we are talking about. So regardless of Anna Paulina Luna being an elected congresswoman who had listened to the most secret of stories in the skiff for a year, now NASA, Arrow and other institutions and entities are basically refusing to assist or allow her or any of the other members of the inquiry access to records and findings. As if that is not bad enough, they, NASA in particular, have not released the photographs taken of 3I Atlas near Mars to the public, or even to other scientists yet, the excuse being that there was a government shutdown. A pretty weak excuse if you ask me. Number one, they work for the taxpayer and we want answers because it is our health and lives which could potentially be at stake. But no, they told Anna Paulina Luna that it's not that they are hiding anything. It was just due to some bureaucratic nonsense. The best photographs to date, which should be available, are likely some from the high-rise telescope and camera near Mars, and that belongs to NASA. So yes, they told Anna Paulina Luna they will release it. They just did not say when. It could be tomorrow, next year, or 50 years from now. What really angers me is not the fact that my curiosity is not being satisfied, but that whatever 3I Atlas is, it could potentially impact each and every human being on this planet. It is not just an American issue. The other thing which irritates the living daylights out of me is the fact that all and sundry are still calling it a comet. I'm not saying it is an alien mothership at all. It would be interesting if it was, but it could very well just be a tremendously large rock from outside our solar system. But whatever it is not a comet. You know, they say if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it is a duck. But the opposite is also true. If it does not walk like a duck and it does not quack like a duck, then it is not a bloody duck. The object 3I Atlas acts nothing like a comet. There's no tail, not even after it had been close to the sun. It is much larger than one would expect from a large comet. It has a very different trajectory from that of a comet. It accelerated without any obvious outside cause. It is extremely bright at times. It changes color, etc., etc. At the moment, the likes of R.V. Loeb had found 10 anomalies, 10 differences from that of any other known comet. So how the heck can anyone still call it a comet? The big fat truth is, nobody except maybe NASA knows what it is. And that is in no way fair or right. Because if that thing changes course, it could potentially affect every soul here on Earth. Hopefully it won't. On December 19th, more or less, it will be in a position closest to Earth. So hopefully people with access to proper telescopes will be able to get a clearer picture, and hopefully we will be less dependent on NASA to actually come up with clearer images. The thing is that Trump promised greater transparency. Well, where is it? Why is Anna Paulina Luna being prevented from doing her job? And why are the Epstein files not being released? I think we all know why. Prince Andrew was definitely not the only one who was entertained by Jeffrey Epstein, not even close. Trump promised to drain the swamp. Well, do it, because in all honesty it is not fair that Andrew and Ghislaine are the only two to pay for what happened in Jeffrey Epstein's company. I also watched the chaos in Birmingham last night. I do not have the words to describe to you how it makes one feel. So I can half imagine how true born and bred British must feel. I'm really gobsmacked. How can England allow this? I loved London, could spend every day for a month or two in London and still not be sick of it. But now I would be too afraid to go there. The government and the woke king is destroying the country. Now, I do not have any solutions to the current problems, at least not any which I can say out loud, and definitely not on a public forum. But there will have to come some kind of solution or Britain is lost. And that, my dears, is not negativity, that is fact. And the likes of King Charles, who thinks that by sucking up to certain groups will safeguard him and the monarchy. What an idiot. They will not tolerate a Christian king or a British king. The first thing they will do is kick him out of Clarence House and Windsor and put their leaders in there. Or maybe they'll turn it into flats and move in there themselves. The situation is dire and almost as scary as a three-eye atlas. Or shall I put it like this? I personally am far more afraid of the humans running around plundering and worse and turning once beautiful cities into slums. Here in good old South Africa, our crime statistics for the first half of 2025 are slowly dribbling out. For change, statistics are positive. Murder rates fell by 12.2% and armed robbery by 10.4% in the first quarter of this year, and is still in the same trajectory for the second quarter. Attempted murders are down 5.8% and serious assaults 5.3%. Although I have not seen statistics on it yet, kidnappings, something we were in general not much plagued with, rose by 6.8%, and sexual offences are still a very serious concern. The economy here in good old sunny South Africa does, however, not look too bright at the moment, though. A predicted growth rate for 2025 was between 1 and 1.5%, but in the second quarter it didn't even make that already low rate, as the GDP in the second quarter grew with only 0.8%. And fixed investments declined, unemployment remains high, and inflation by September stood at 3.4%. So not a pretty picture at all. So guys and girls, that is it from me for today. It is rather refreshing not to be talking about the royals, but believe you me, there's quite a bit coming through via the grapevine. Tomorrow, the royals, I don't exactly know who yet, will attend the annual Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall, and on Sunday they will attend the Senator service, so there will be that as well this weekend. So guys and girls, until I see you on the next one, please take good care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye.